Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Today is December the 25th. It's Jesus' birthday. And
Day 12.
Day 12 of the 12 Days of Questions.
Yes.
I'm Rusty. This is Heather Bryant. We're back with the Redeemed Marriage Podcast and our 12 Days of Questions. Our last day. Merry Christmas, like we said. And we're back home last night. We were driving around the city trying to video from there. But we're back home after a long day of doing the Christmas stuff.
It was so fun.
It was
long, but
it was a
good.
really good day. So hopefully you and your family had a good day too. So we're going to wrap up this last day with a question that we've gotten quite a few times, even over the last few days. Mm-hmm. The question is, when are we going to write our book? so funny thing is that 9 years ago, when we went through our marriage crisis, I actually started writing a book. It was more of me kind of journaling, but then I started putting it into like a little bit of an organized form, and then I just kind of stopped. And I think that there were several reasons for that, but one was just because I realized that early on, I wasn't sure people really wanted to hear what we had to say. But then I started realizing how much I was learning, even much further out in the healing process and the forgiveness and all that. And so, sitting here not almost a decade later, it's like, man,
we learned
maybe we have something that people would actually want to read.
Well, and there was so limited resources at the time for you, especially, that you just kind of were making your own, just writing as you went, as you learned.
Yeah. But I thought about this, another funny story that happened about 4 or 5 months after everything had happened and we were kind of going through our healing process. We went to a conference. It was a marriage conference, and Gary Smalley was there, which Gary Smalley has passed away. We've referenced some of his books already in the podcast, but he was there, and he has actually written over 60 books on relationships. It's crazy. But it was kind of an intimate setting, and I remember at one point he got up and did his little thing, and he said, "Hey, at the break, if anybody's got any questions, if you want to ask me anything, if you want to ask me about writing a book," and I was like, "Whoa, yeah, I do." And so when the break happened, I ran up there and I was like, "Hey, I want to write a book." And he's like, "What do you want to write a book about?" And I said, "Well, about marriage." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And so he grabbed my notebook that I was holding, and he started jotting down, and he's telling me all this stuff to do. And
drawing pictures.
Yeah, drawing little charts and stuff. And I still have it. It's awesome. And especially because he's passed away. But he's just going at it. And then he says, "Yeah, so do all this." He said, "Or if you really want to make it easy on yourself, get yourself a ghostwriter like I do." I went, "What?" So that's really what we're waiting on is a ghostwriter.
Or you could be somebody's ghostwriter because you're really good at writing.
No, if I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write my own book. I ain't writing for somebody else.
Okay.
Anyways, no, we're going to write our own book. And we actually, just a couple of months ago, we talked about that. We said, hey, it's time for us to really start thinking about that and putting some real...
But when you think about writing a book, my number one thought is anybody going to read that? Like, who wants to read that? And so the fact that we've had several people ask us is kind of encouraging. Maybe some of them will read it.
Hey, maybe if you think you would read it, you could make a comment and say, "I'll read your book," and that might help us.
That's right.
Us a lot. But the other thing is, we also realized that this book I was writing, you actually started writing a little bit. And then we started thinking, and we were like, this is not my book, and this is not her book. This is our book.
That's right.
And so that was another place that we kind of had to get to. So,
that's right.
So to answer that question, maybe sometime soon. We're still thinking about it and praying about it. The other thing is, we have no idea how to publish a book or get a book printed or anything. So if you know somebody that would publish,
UPS store and just copy it.
We're going to do better than that. But if you know somebody that wants to publish our story, our book, send them our way. Okay, that's it. That was the question.
That was it. When are we writing a book?
And we didn't really answer it, but we're going to.
It's in the plan.
Hey,
sure.
but seriously though, if you have ideas of like what you would want the book to have in it, some information in it, shoot us a comment or something and tell us, because we want to be able to share parts of our story and things that we learn that will actually connect with the people that are watching and paying attention and following us and stuff. So,
and we are going to try to do this weekly.
Yep, like we were
not
doing.
the 12 days of Christmas, not 12 days in a row, but weekly. So hopefully we will see you guys next Sunday.
Yep. So until then,
bye.
Merry Christmas. Enjoy time with your family.